Alright, let's talk about Mirage. So Mirage is a frame that has been getting a lot of play in the raids and is just generally a pretty good frame, and I like a couple of builds for Mirage. One, of course, is our raid build, just for blinding everything that exists and has and ever will exist on the map at all times, which is kind of very specific use, but can be used in other places as well. And the other is my general use build, which is a Hall of Malevolence build. And then there is one other build that I don't use that we will talk a little bit about because it is a thing that exists. But the first build is going to be the general use one that I'll go over, and then I'll go over the raid build. So, for my general use build, we need... One second, Mirage, fix your arms. There we go. We need a lot of duration and a decent amount of power strength. And not so much the other things, but you do get the 30% efficiency, which helps you keep your powers up with this build. So, the goal of this build is to constantly be in Eclipse and Hall of Mirrors, and just to dish out damage and just kill everyone, and also be very hard to kill whenever you, like, those two powers combined can make it nearly impossible to get rid of Mirage. She can be very hard to take down, and her powers flow really nicely together. The other nice thing about this build is that it doesn't completely neuter your 4 as having a tool to blind enemies with. So it's a much shorter range, but it's still reasonable, so you can still use it as a crowd control device, but not really for any sort of damage. So that's also a benefit of this build. The main thing here is duration. The way I have it set up, I think that my Hall of Mirrors lasts 50-some seconds, which is really good. And the crux of this build is Hall of Malevolence. The damage of your doppelganger is increased by 5% every time you kill an enemy. So, if you pick a weapon that suits Hall of Mirrors well, that's a lot of damage that you build up to over time. And because your power strength is another 75% added on, that becomes an even greater amount of damage. And then you factor in your Eclipse, and whenever you're in the light, even more damage. And it's a lot of just making your weapons really good at outputting just hilarious amounts of DPS. And it's great for that. So that's kind of what this build does, and this is the build I'm planning to show off. It works very well. The raid build, my raid build looks like this. Quick thinking, because I don't want to die ever, because dying is not good. This is mostly just for safety and could totally be swapped out. Flow, just because it kind of goes with quick thinking. These two mods here, I think, are just totally interchangeable, and you could switch it out with kind of whatever you feel comfortable with. Like handspring, stuff like that is all fine. And then you want a decent amount of duration, but you mostly want max range and max efficiency with this build, which you get. You get max overextended, max stretch, there's your max range. Fleeting and streamline in this configuration gives you much less, or not much less, but less of a downside on power duration, and then a prime continuity and constitution to top it off in terms of getting your duration. And the basic gist that this does is, as I said before, you spam 4 a lot and everyone on the map is blind forever, essentially, as long as you're doing that. Works very well for its purpose, but is not something that I would suggest someone run in just a general mission setting. That would be this one. So, let's get to it. Oh, and the other build of Mirages that I don't use is a build that revolves around Total Eclipse. So, what you would do for a Total Eclipse build is you would swap Hall of Malevolence out, and then you would drop Narrow-Minded, probably, and then you would have like a good amount of range that you could help your teammates at, and that is a viable thing that you could use. I personally don't really like Total Eclipse just because I like to be very, very mobile whenever I'm using Mirage, but it's mostly because I'm running around killing everyone. So that's like the potential like build there. Also, one of the swap outs on this build is Flow. Flow is here because I like having the extra pool of energy just to have. I find it to be nice. But there are a lot of mods that you could swap out. You could throw Handspring here if you feel like you're getting knocked down and that sucks a lot. There are there are definitely other mods. Natural Talent, if you want to cast your abilities faster, that's totally doable. You could potentially swap it out for Total Eclipse and have both of those mods in here. But I think you'd want a little bit more range if you were going to do that. That's just my personal preference. Like there are a lot of options that you have for like swapping out like whatever you want to do. Like you could throw no, that has too many, that would require too much once you leveled it. Fortitude, chance to resist knockdown, that's totally usable. And like there are just like, that's the very like variable slot that you could do. And then obviously you would need Forma if you want to fill in your Exilus slot. Although this mod could also be like immobilized for going fast or doing something like that. So the build is a little bit variable with kind of whatever you want to slot into it. And obviously using Forma, you get the Exilus slot and you can kind of throw in whatever you want. Like the more Forma you add, the more options you have, as it is as usual. But this is a no Forma build. So let's get on to weapon choices. I was using her to level the Vacor Heck, but generally I like using Mirage with shotguns. I find that she's real good with the Heck, and this is the new Heck, which I feel is even better because of the larger magazine size. And that's just been really, really good. But weapons that have slight inaccuracies or are AoE work really, really well for this, such as the Ignis, the Ogress if you just want to blow shit up really big. The Opticore is not bad for it. Just like any machine gun generally will do pretty well. Weapons that I would suggest avoiding would be like Dread. Dread's fine, but is not like optimal. Weapons that are really, really good are like the Amprex, which can dish out some insane AoE death. But I have not formed my Amprex, so it is not as insane as it could be. The Amprex is kind of a weapon that I think needs Forma to really shine. But I like to use shotguns, and we will probably bring the Vacor Heck. Yeah, okay, we'll bring the Vacor Heck. The Hikau Prime with their exploding mod, just because there are 5 of you, just throwing a ton of exploding shuriken is super good. And following that same vein of thought, the Glaive Prime with its what's it called? Power Throw. With Power Throw on it, those also explode when they're thrown, and your clones also throw them, and they all explode, and it's great. And that interaction right there is one that's not stated on the mod card. Like whenever you put this on there, it just says punch through, but it actually makes your glaive explode even if you haven't equipped it whenever you throw it, which is really, really good. I did not know about that until very recently. But yeah, that's what that is. So yeah, let's go kill some dudes. What mission was it that I was using for this? I think it was Vedic. Vedic seems right. Whoa! People aren't running this mission ever, but still. Gotta put it on solo. Alright. AC-130 inbound. Yeah, this is a much different build than you're normally gonna see with most other frames. But yes, that is kind of my nickname for doing this with the Hikau, is that AC-130 inbound. indeed spot me. Whoa there, friend. Step off. Put up or shut up. Yeah. Yeah, this is a really hard combination to, like, slow down or stop. Where am I going? I'm, like, not even paying attention. And, like, you can still get your blind on. That stuff still works. Oh, I should show off the glaive. It super explodes. It's pretty impressive. Basically, I like using explosives with Mirage, and it tends to be very effective. Yeah, even with like only 30% efficiency, with Mirage it is actually, like, considering the duration of your abilities, it is actually not hard to keep her kind of topped off usually. Oh. I think I hurt myself on that one. Yeah, having a way to heal is a slight problem that Mirage has, but there are many ways to heal that you can implement. So damaging yourself is a definite problem. Oh, that's no good. Don't shoot me, shoot my clones. Just raining death. Let's grab them on. Yeah, I think Mirage is one of the, like... It seems like she's kind of underplayed generally. Like, she sees a lot of play in the raid recently that I've noticed, but, like, it doesn't seem like she's, just like a regular, like, mainstay frame, which I find kind of weird, actually. And there's a manicure. Oh, he died. Wonderful. Also, visually, Mirage is just, like her effects are really cool. Like, just, like, having all the... I do wish that... Okay, here's one of the things that... Like, this is, like, a pet peeve about Mirage more than anything, not really important to the build. I wish they stood like you do. Because, like, her stance is really good. It's just they all are super default hands. Let's get some heck action up in here. I could just run. You can fuck right off. Keep in mind that this Vacor heck does not have any mods in it. Didn't it say there's an enemy right next to me? Weird. Let's be in here. Right? Fuck that thing. Where's this enemy at? Oh, it's... Yeah, okay, never mind. In this direction. Ow, 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 ow. Ah, ah. I should use a weapon that's appropriate for this area. Alright, alright. No more fucking around. I wanted to kill everything with my heck. Yeah. It should be noted that me dying there was my fault, not the fault of the build. I was just being an idiot. And using a weapon with no mods on it on Ceres. Where are these enemies at? Oh, there's one. And he's dead. I wonder if this will hit from above them. It did not hit the ceiling. Ah, no, the explosion's not big enough. Alright. Yeah. I'm just gonna take that run, even though I died. Oh well. Yeah. If you use a weapon that actually has mods in it, whenever you're in an area that kind of requires that, this build is fucking amazing, as you saw with all of the cow stuff.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Alright. Alright, yes. But anyway, those are the two builds that, well, one of them is a popular build, that is the raid build, and the other one is the build that I use for Mirage, just for whenever I want to have a bunch of clones and have some fun and kill some dudes. Oh, also, yeah, there's always that one thing that I forgot to mention. Energy Siphon on her, obviously easily swappable to Corrosive Projection, which is great. So yeah, there's no funny stuff going on there with her aura slot. Alright. Yeah, but that's Mirage. Super fun. And, like, kinda she's very different. She's super different. I know whenever, like, she was about to come out, everyone thought she was just gonna be a female Loki. Definitely not that way.